Hey guys, this is Miss Early, and this is the second video for the edited torn paper effect formal portrait project. The first video showed you how to create the marble background that will be behind the portrait, and so this video is going to show you how to finish the assignment and end up with a final product that looks something like this. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home page here in PixlrX. What you want to do is go ahead and click open image down here at the bottom and open your portrait that you took. Okay. All right, so there is my portrait that I'm using for this assignment. I'm going to go ahead and come over here, guys, to the navigation bar. There is a lock symbol on the portrait right here in the layers. I'm gonna go ahead and double click that lock and unlock it. All right, and close this out. Okay, so guys, the first step that I want you to do is to come over here on the left hand side where it says effect. Looks like a little half circle kind of symbol, and I would like you to choose one of these effects, basically like a built-in filter for your photo. Okay, each of these has multiple choices within it. You can always click back and go back, choose something different. Right? And you can select any of the effects that you want. So let me take a look. This one's kind of cool. Okay, once you've selected one, guys, you have to come down to the bottom and hit apply, so it'll actually stick. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit that. Sorry about the pop-ups, just close those away. Okay, so I've used my effect, got my photo edited, and now I want to add the marbled background that I painted in the last video to this portrait. So over here, there's a symbol, looks like a mountain with a sun. It says add image. So I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna hit browse, and I'm going to find my marbled background. Okay, and I'm gonna open it. All right, so it might come out a little bit small. You can always grab the edges and like stretch it, move this. I'm really gonna kind of concentrate it over the face, okay? It doesn't have to fill the entire area, but like the main area, yes, okay? I'm gonna hit close down here on add image. All right, close that out. Now, obviously, we do not want the marble painting on top of our face because we can't see it. So if you come over here, and I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit so you can see it. Here are our two layers in the navigation bar. You can see the layer that's the marble background, and you can see the portrait. All you have to do is click on the marble background and drag it down, and it is now behind the portrait. Okay, very simple. I'll do it again so you can see it. I'm just clicking, selecting the background layer and moving it, and now the portrait is on top. Okay, I want to make sure that I click on the portrait layer. There should be like a blue line around it. That's how I know that is the layer I am working in. Okay, so make sure you've clicked on you have your marble background behind your portrait, and your portrait is selected. Okay, you should see that blue line. All right, now I'm going to come back over here to the draw tools, come up to the top and select the eraser. Now, I like to put my cursor, like my mouse, on the screen so I can see how big the eraser is. I don't want it to be like gigantic. I like to keep it kind of small for this step, okay? So what we're gonna be doing, guys, is erasing a section or two of the portrait, all right? And this is our like torn paper look. So I'm just gonna I like to just kind of enjoy removing the eyes. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me. But I'm just kind of just like, you know, it's a tear, so it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be straight. So I'm just going to kind of do like a bumpy line maybe. It could be skinny in some areas. Maybe it gets wider in a different area. Okay. So I like to do like both of the sides and then come back in and erase the middle. And you should see the marbled background behind it. Okay. By Daisy Ridley's eyeballs. Okay. All right. Now this is just one, you know, it is required that you create like at least one of these big tears, quote unquote, for your portrait. But if you would like to, you could always do a second one. You know, you could do one that's like maybe not even, doesn't even go all the way across. Maybe it's stops somewhere. Okay, play around with the shape of it. Okay. All right, so I've erased 2 different torn areas of my portrait. Okay, now we've got one more step to finish this off. What we want to do though is, guys, remember we have selected the portrait because we're erasing parts of it. Well, we're going to be adding some white paint along the edges of what we erased. But we are not painting on the portrait. We actually are going to be painting on the marble background. So make sure that once you're done with your erased areas, your little tears, that you click and select the marble background for the final step. Okay? If you do not do this, it will not work well and it will not look good. If something happens you don't like, come down here to undo and just reverse out. Okay? So I've selected the marble background. I'm going to come back over here and pick out my brush tool this time, and I'm going to make sure it's white. Okay? And then basically what I'm going to do is just kind of just go along the edges. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's supposed to look torn, so like some areas could be big, some areas could be small. But I want to kind of go along each of those little sides. Just helps it really pop and gives it more of that like torn look. Okay, and I'll do this one over here. I mean, you can see, guys, like I have the paintbrush on and it's not affecting the portrait because I'm in the marble layer. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this one off really quick. Do both sides. There we go. Okay, so once you get to this point, guys, you would be officially done with the assignment. You would come down here to save, hit save, name your file, make it a JPEG, download, and you are done. So good luck, guys.